therapy, which impossible in Gaza. No material, no drugs, no machines, no radiotherapy. We all time suffer, and we try to be alive till tomorrow, till after tomorrow, to help our patients, our victims. We talk to all world, help us. That's enough.
Akshaya Kumar is the Director of Crisis Advocacy at Human Rights Watch and joins us now live from New York. Akshaya, good to have you with us. You know, even before the airstrikes, Gazans were struggling to get enough water, enough fuel. We've just heard from a Gazan doctor saying that 15 years of siege have left him without enough medical supplies. Right now, he can't get the drugs he needs. He can't get the water, fresh water to treat patients. I mean, just how bad is the humanitarian situation?
The humanitarian situation, as described by the doctor there in Al-Shifa Hospital, is truly heartbreaking. But it's more than a tragedy. This is actually a violation. And we at Human Rights Watch have determined that the way in which the people of Gaza have been dominated, the way in which they have been oppressed by Israeli authorities amounts to a crime against humanity, and particularly to the crime against humanity of apartheid. And that's because you can't look at each incident independently or by itself. We need to view the whole system here together. As the doctor was reminding us, this isn't just a case of COVID-19. This isn't just a case of this recent escalation, but years and years of blockade, limitations on free movement, limitations on access to healthcare, on access to education, and a discriminatory system that favors one group of people over the other, even though both live in about equal numbers in the same territory.
Right, and that is a massive problem, because even if there's a ceasefire tomorrow, the fact remains that the underlying reasons for the conflict are still not being addressed. And so that makes future violence not just a possibility, but a probability.
Absolutely. And that's why we at Human Rights Watch are focusing our attention and our call to the world to look beyond this discussion of when the ceasefire will come or when the rockets or the missiles will stop being fired, to a solution that addresses the broader systemic discrimination here, the intent to dominate that we have documented, and seeks accountability for the crimes that have been committed. Unless there is accountability, we can't expect that there will be a change in behavior. And unfortunately, to date, the international community has been silent. If you look at the UN Security Council, it has met multiple times, but has been unable to issue a single statement due to US government obstruction of any kind of public outcome from this body that's supposed to be responding to issues just like these.
And why is that? Why isn't the humanitarian suffering of civilians, especially children, why isn't that more of a spur to bodies like the UN to do as much as they can to end the violence as quickly as possible, notwithstanding the various political alliances that all the member states have?
Right. Well, we would hope, and we continue to hope, that there will be a breakthrough there at the United Nations in New York, and that there will be a confrontation of the responsibility, really the moral obligation that is incumbent on those diplomats. But unfortunately, at the moment, the US government remains the key obstacle, and the steadfast friendship that the US government asserts with Israel has led it to feel that the only step it can take is to block any kind of statement at all. This is a true mistake, because any kind of friendship and alliance needs to be rooted in an ability to tell truths. And as we are telling truths, we have to acknowledge that the system of discrimination and oppression here, the system of apartheid, needs to be confronted, and those responsible need to face consequences. Otherwise, we are destined to not see an end to these cycles of violence, and these kinds of tragedies will continue.
Akshaya Kumar, thank you very much indeed for joining us.